first, it looks like an ordinary recreational vehicle parked on a street in Beverly Grove. Then, suddenly, the entire roof is engulfed in massive flames, sending thick black smoke into the sky. When Los Angeles Fire Department Light Force 61 arrives, the RV is already completely involved in fire. But how did the situation become so intense, and why can an RV fire become so dangerous so quickly? Today, we are breaking down what happened and what this footage reveals. The footage begins with the RV already burning intensely. Flames are pouring from the roof, while enormous clouds of dark smoke rise above the vehicle. The coachman Leprechaun is almost completely surrounded by fire, and the intensity suggests that the flames have already spread well beyond a single area. What started inside the vehicle has developed into a serious emergency, requiring an immediate professional response. Unlike an ordinary passenger vehicle, an RV contains an entire living space. Inside are furniture, insulation, electrical systems, appliances, storage compartments, and many other combustible materials. Once a fire gains control of the interior, these materials can provide an enormous amount of fuel. Heat can build rapidly, while smoke fills areas that may be impossible to see from outside. The flames climbing above the roof show just how developed the fire has become. From a distance, it may look like firefighters simply need to put out the flames.
But emergency crews arriving at a scene like this have much more to consider. They must determine whether anyone could still be inside, evaluate the surrounding area, and understand how the fire is moving through the vehicle. Light Force 61 responds to the incident while the RV continues to burn. At this stage, the situation is no longer about preventing a small fire from spreading. The vehicle is already heavily involved, creating intense heat and extremely poor visibility. Firefighters must work quickly while maintaining control of their equipment and constantly reassessing the conditions around them. And there is something important that the footage does not immediately show. The largest flames are visible above the roof, but fire can also continue burning inside walls, compartments, and hidden areas. Even when the exterior flames begin to decrease, dangerous heat can remain inside. That is one of the reasons firefighters cannot simply assume that a vehicle is safe once the biggest flames disappear. Once firefighters confront a fully involved RV fire, the vehicle itself creates several challenges. It is much larger and more complex than a normal car, and its interior is designed as a living space. Electrical systems, appliances, fuel sources, and other equipment can all create additional hazards. Firefighters therefore have to consider the entire vehicle rather than focusing only on the flames they can see.
The footage shows the fire continuing to produce enormous amounts of heat and smoke. Flames roll across the upper section, while thick smoke spreads into the surrounding area. For firefighters, visibility can become extremely limited in these conditions. At the same time, they have to remain aware of what is happening around the vehicle and whether the fire could threaten nearby property or people. Another major concern is hidden fire. Flames can travel through spaces that cannot be seen from the outside, allowing heat to remain trapped even after the visible fire begins to weaken. This means firefighters have to continue checking the vehicle, rather than assuming the danger has disappeared. A fire that looks smaller from the outside can still present serious hazards inside. The response also demonstrates why firefighters train for rapidly changing situations. Their job is not simply to rush toward the largest flames. They must assess the scene, position their equipment, establish a safe approach, attack the fire, and continuously monitor the conditions. Every decision has to balance speed with safety, because conditions can change in only a matter of seconds. By the end of the operation, the RV has suffered extensive fire damage. The scene serves as a powerful example of how quickly a recreational vehicle can become a major emergency. What looks like a normal vehicle can contain enough combustible material and equipment to produce an extremely intense fire.
And once that happens, professional firefighters have to take control before the situation becomes even more dangerous. This Beverly Grove RV fire shows how quickly an ordinary vehicle can turn into a massive emergency. When Light Force 61 arrived, flames were already consuming the recreational vehicle and sending thick smoke into the air. But the footage also reveals something important. Fighting a fire is not simply about putting out visible flames. It requires assessment, strategy, teamwork, and constant attention to changing conditions.
In just minutes, an ordinary RV became a scene requiring a professional emergency response.